I can sit here, f you, you're a piece of shit. I don't like you, f you. That's just a tic, I promise.
I figured.
But, you know. We have Tourette syndrome. Get with it, bitch.
All right. It bothers me when people laugh at my tics. 3, 2, 1, go.
I have a lot of funny tics, whether it's just word tics, whether it's a big movement, whether it's my cussing tics. I also make social media content on TikTok exploring the funny sides of Tourette's and what it's like to live with Tourette's. And when I'm with my friends, we laugh at my tics because they're funny. Cow, moo. And when people laugh with me at my tics, then I feel more accepted and I feel more myself and I feel like I can freely tic. But if you're laughing at me, that's a whole different story. If you're making fun of me, that's drawing the line.
I realized that what would be way worse than being laughed at is if like my friends and peers and family were like trying to baby me, you know, and like be tiptoe around me and like walking on thin ice. Like I would much rather be like made fun of from somebody that I don't care about than like know that I'm being treated differently by the people in my life just because I have this thing.
Sometimes I'll say something like just kind of mean, all around really insulting to someone. At that point, it's like the only way to play it off, is, if it's like a friend, of course, is to like laugh at it, be like, wow, that's such a ridiculous thing I just said. What? So it definitely does depend on the tic.
Anyone who like laughs at me, like they're my boys, like, or like I just met them, like yeah, like laugh at my Twitches, I don't care, but like I don't care. If you don't laugh, you're gonna look at me weird, then I'm gonna be like, yo, what the fuck you looking at, bro? Like, the fuck, everybody here is laughing, you just look at me, that's like disrespectful right there, you know?
I think it definitely is a distinction of laughing at someone rather than with them. Again, using common sense, like Summer said.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you first.
I went to a restaurant like a couple weeks ago, and wow, I was ticking pretty bad. Wow, fuck off. And the table across from me started like laughing at me and trying to get me to tick and like, wow, just treating me like a sideshow more than anything. And that was really not appreciated.
Okay, so this is fun. So there's hot takes that our audience has submitted, which are assumptions that they make about people with Tourette's.
I didn't know what they were about to ask.
Having sex is hard because of my tics.
It makes it better. I call it the twitch stroke. That's what I was calling it, you know what I'm saying?
Oh gosh.
I hit him with the twitch stroke, and like I could go for like hours, all night, 6 hours. It's like endurance. Like, yeah, I twitch sometimes here and there, but it's like they don't care. Like they like it. It's weird.
It's okay for people with Tourette's to say the N-word if it's a tic.
I have that tic, and you know, it depends on the context of the situation. You know, if you're like an actual really shitty person and you enjoy saying it, and someone's like, oh yeah, like I really want to say this word, but it's okay because I have Tourette's. People will just excuse it as a Tourette's. When really, no, it's not okay. But you know, with this certain tic, I sometimes don't know when it's coming, and I have no control over holding it back.
It's not right for anyone to say that if they, you know, aren't black. But the thing is, it's involuntary. You can't control having this disorder. You can't control what you say. But I still agree that, like, in normal conversation, don't say it unless you have the right to say it.
I would just say that I'm only over here because it's the way the Tourette's works in my mind, and probably a lot of others, is like what you want to do or say the least is the thing that your Tourette's wants you to do or say the most.
Verbal tics sometimes show your true feelings.
So I can sit here, fuck you, you're a piece of shit.
I know.
I don't like you, fuck you. That's just a tic, I promise.
I figured.
But, you know, I can go around saying I want a boyfriend. But do I actually want a boyfriend? Maybe not. Maybe I do. I don't know. It kind of depends.
I have some vocal tics where I call them my truth tics, and I'll be like, do you want to know a secret about this person? And then I'll be like, you have hair, or you're tall. Like, it's things like that. So in those cases, it's not really
wearing teal for Tourette's.
Like, sometimes I will say what I'm feeling, but most of the times it's just coming from somewhere in my brain that I have no idea. These are mom jeans. The most comfortable.
Dating is hard. 3, 2, 1, go.
don't think Tourette's makes it hard. Not at all. Like, to be honest, no. I think it's just hard in like this generation nowadays. It's just hard, dude. You can't. That's it. But Tourette's never affected me with like finding somebody, you know.
I agree that dating in general is hard. Adding my personal Tourette's on it, it makes it 100 times harder. Every single second of every day, I'm ticking. Whether you notice it or not is a different story. Like, I've literally gone on dates and just been so anxious and been ticking so much that I ended up leaving, and like the other person seems visibly uncomfortable. So it just takes that much harder to find someone who's willing to commit.
Is little things where, like, you know, I can't cuddle with someone because the second they touch me, I like tense up and I'm just like, you know, although I do want to cuddle with them. So yeah, it really just depends on the severity. But for me, it hasn't been so bad. But just because I don't believe that it's hard doesn't mean that her believing it is hard is invalid.
Yeah, definitely with things like cuddling or hand holding, I feel very restricted, and my tics are like, let's break out right now. So that's a bit difficult, but I think if you find the right person that isn't just with you to pity you because of your condition, then it's, wow, a lot easier.
I feel very lucky. I've been with my boyfriend now for almost 6 years. When we first got together, we were friends for quite a while beforehand, and so he very much knew the severity of my tics, and because he saw my tics probably at their worst and at their best. Even when I was dating before we were together, I'm very upfront about my TS from the get-go, because I found that it's almost like a, I don't know if the word is litmus test, but my tics make it so that the people who are around me are generally better people, and because they're people who are more accepting and more understanding.
But that's my issue, is finding the right person, because I'm upfront that I have Tourette's, and I tell them like the severity of it. They see my TikTok, they see my Instagram, and then I get ghosted, and then I get swiped left on, or they find someone else. Has
anyone ever lost a relationship because of Tourette's?
It's just my other, you know, terrible personality traits, not the Tourette's.
I feel like anybody who is going to break up with somebody because of their TS, I think a lot of people don't want to seem ableist, so they're going to find some other reason to tell you. So for all I know, maybe I have been broken up with because of my TS, but who knows? Like,
I have lost opportunities because of my disability. 3, 2, 1, go.
Since you're the only one over there, why do you, if you don't mind me asking, why do you somewhat disagree?
I feel like I haven't necessarily lost opportunities because of my TS. I've had some cases where I don't go after opportunities because of it, but I haven't necessarily had somebody tell me no just because of my TS. It would have been for other reasons.
I had to drop out of school due to my Tourette syndrome. I was asked to leave certain classes. I was asked to leave a Starbucks once. At a Tourette convention, I was asked to leave a place, and all of us had Tourette's, but I was the only one with coprolalia, or the only one with cussing tics. And then I also can't keep a job because I would get yelled at by the customers. Yes, the job was aware that I had Tourette's and aware that I couldn't control it, but then the customers would make a scene, and then therefore I couldn't work. Therefore it made my anxiety worse, made my Tourette's worse, and ultimately it ended up me having to go on disability because I wasn't allowed to work.
In high school, like ever since I started playing sports, I was really good, but the coaches
I'm a dropout.
all the coaches always just like hated on me, like always said something about me, and that's why I wouldn't play. So I had to transfer schools like 3 times. I was good at football, and like I couldn't play the first 5 games. So like just like it like lessened my opportunities to get offers, you know. And it was a dream of mine, but like after that I was like fuck. But like obviously like now I have great opportunities coming my way because I don't give a shit. I'm living my life, so like, you know, I don't regret nothing that I did, you know.
I haven't had like many opportunities to lose, but like it definitely impacts what I'm able to do. Like for example, I do like swim in school, and sometimes I have to like stop and take a break because my tics are so bad that I like can't swim. So like things like that will happen where it definitely does affect. Luckily I have not drowned yet.
Okay, good.
Yet, yeah, keyword.
I used to work retail before my tics got bad, and similar to you, it manifested in me cussing out a lot of customers. So I didn't keep that job for very long afterwards, and beans, fuck you.
Beans.
After that, I have failed every single interview that I've tried to go to, so I've kind of just given up on getting rehired, but hopefully going back to online school, because I was also forced to drop out of that. So
I do like engineering and sound stuff, but
that doesn't count. Fuck you. No, it counts.
I can work from home, and I don't have a lot of face-to-face with clients. When I'm when I'm on like a Zoom meeting or something for a project, I make sure to have the push to talk so I don't scream while all these people are doing things.
I feel like I'm very good at suppressing my tics, which I know none of us like to do, but every job that I've ever had has been like a lot of like backstage stuff. So if my tics are too bad and I can't suppress them, my employers have always been very good about finding me something to do where I'm not face to face.
I wish I was born without Tourette's. 3, 2, 1, go.
I mean, I've had it since I was 7, so like, fuck, it's been hard, you know? And I got brain surgery for it. Finally, I've like 50% better, but I used to be like non-stop, just like body movements, leg twitching when I walked. The only way I could sit down if I was high as fuck, just smoking weed all day. And like, after surgery, I stopped smoking for 4 months, but I would like, wow, why not? Like, I'd like to experience life without Tourette's, without having to be freaking taking pills, like twitching out uncontrollably.
I've told this to people and they don't understand, but like, I don't know what it feels like to relax. I don't know what it's like to go to a movie at a theater and not be just stressed and miserable and barely able to pay attention the entire time.
I've been asked that same question. My instant answer is always no, no hesitation. Even though I go through all of that turmoil and all of that stress and all of the, honestly, trauma because of it, it's made me the person I am today. Like, I know way more about myself and my mental health and being socially aware of like the person I am. And I think the pros definitely outweigh the cons. There's a lot of cons physically for myself, but I'd rather, for the sake of humanity and people and advocacy and loving people, I'd much rather deal with this so that I can be there for everybody else.
I'm so glad that I was introduced to the Tourette's community, which, by the way, are the most amazing people you'll ever meet.
Yep.
Every person with Tourette's, and I'm not even joking when I say this, always has some unique talent. All of them are the nicest people, and they have a really good outlook on life. I wouldn't trade the friends that I've made in the community for anything.
I feel like my TS has given me so much more empathy for people, and I feel like it's such a part of who I am. I'm very passionate about the talents within the Tourette community. I actually, for the past 7 years, have been hosting an event called Artistic Expressions, where I just showcase talents of people with Tourette syndrome when we're doing something that we really love to do. So for me, it used to be when I was reading books, or when I was singing, or when I was dancing, I would stop ticking. And I think that might be why so many people have such creative outlets, is because that is the only time sometimes where we can just feel still.
For me, it's playing an instrument. Most of the time it's guitar, and when I pick it up, I don't tick at all. I actually got introduced to the Tourette community by showing up at Rihanna's event and just finding out that everybody was like the same. It's like, oh yeah, that person plays drums, this person reads poetry, this person does that, and nobody's ticking while they're doing it.
It's almost like magic.
It's magic.
It is magic.
How was this experience for you guys today?
Amazing.
Dope.
Good. Really
Fire.
Great.
Life-changing.
That is officially a wrap.
Yay!
And we brought you some Jubilee merch to.
Oh, yay.
Oh, how exciting.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, and I've been looking for new stickers.
Can I take a picture with all of you, actually?
Yeah.
I shake too much to take it, so you can take it real quick.
Beans!